Here, take money. Go fix your stuff.
Go fix your stuff.
Everybody, do we actually have
We are
followers?
live.
Oh no, we are live.
Do we need to go set up a GoFundMe account?
All right. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. We finally got our technical difficulties under control. Well, for now. If this is your first time joining us, feel free to leave a comment. If you subscribe, you can join the live chat while we are playing. By all means, subscribe so you can join the live chat. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened last week while we were experiencing technical difficulty? With Boreg on its way to stabilization, the group decides to move forward to Thrice. Questions plagued Kadeth regarding the sword and that he now wields, and others ready to check in with friends and family. A transport boat hires on the party as guards, and the travel is uneventful. In Thrice, the group went their separate ways. Evangeline went home and checked in with her father. Seeker checking in with a small temple to Kellenbor to inquire about the stormy orb. Priest Raul Kalos requested Seeker keep the orb wrapped in a cloth while he made preparations to contain its magic. After this, Seeker checks in with the Order of Truth and then joins the group at the end. Forsyth goes about town checking in with his fellow urchins and discovers one missing, Kosha Tusky. She has last been seen boarding a nice boat with a group of questionable people, but the boat belonged to Lady Gira. Kadeth and Fix go to the Order of Balance to speak with Erwin and Tatra. Though Kadeth could not confirm with absolute certainty that the sword he now wields is the matron's sword, he did receive another prophecy from Tatra. The storm is coming, the watchers see, judgment is summoned, balance shall be. A heart is lost, the gods stand by, the evil pushes forward, make their acts deny. Before leaving, Erwin does warn Kadeth and Fix that there is a mole in the order. Information was given to a young urchin named Kosha, and now she has not been seen for several days. Information regarding a communing ritual that, if leaked to the wrong person, could bring down authorities or at least unwanted eyes. The group gathered at the inn and shared the information that each had ascertained. A few of them remembered that Lady Gira resided in Castle Aventur, north of Weirfall. They quickly attained a position upon another cargo transport boat, whose destination was Weirfall, and set sail. Before reaching Boreg, which is about the halfway point, the vessel was attacked by bandits, which quickly regretted their decision. Reaching Boreg, the boat does dock to resupply. And that is where we're going to pick up. We are picking up in Boreg. What will you do now?
So one thing I did forget about last week, and I meant to do, was that I was gonna, let Tatra or let Erwin know what I found out about Kosha already and where she is, and that we're already making plans to go there. So
Okay.
I'm hearing a lot of paper shuffling. I don't know who
Rob's rolling his dice.
Oh.
No, my cat decided that of all the open space on my desk, she's going to sit on my pile of dice.
No. Rob's cat.
Sure, blame the cat.
No, she did. I'm just moving her. Thanks for that.
Okay. Animals. We have to love them.
I do.
Yeah.
I love my dogs, although they had a bad day, especially Maggie. We had thunderstorms all day. My dog goes, ah! Because she's a chicken.
So, you dock in Boreg? You just going to wait for the boat to pass on? I just wanted to give you an opportunity if you wanted to revisit anything in Boreg.
We decided to take
we
the
need-
boat to that castle, didn't we?
Right, it's going all the way
Yeah.
to Weirfall, and from there you'll have to go north to the castle.
I would see if there was any messages left for me while we're there, like restocking, resupplying, anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do is restock, resupply, consumable items.
All right. Where are you checking for messages?
First, the person we put in charge.
Okay. He will welcome you kindly and says, surely I couldn't mess it up this short amount of time.
Oh,
We're
you'd
passing
be
through.
surprised. But I was just stopping to see how things are going, seeing if there were any messages left for me.
No messages have been left here.
And where's your advisor?
Currently on,
There should be 2 of them.
well, there's technically 3 of them.
Oh, that's
His
true.
own, and then the other 2. Tamira and Thomas, that's right, are both with their order at the moment. My personal advisor, whom I believe I gave a name, but don't remember it right now.
I thought his
He
parents
is-
gave him a name, but
That's a long name.
Right? I just call him Bob. He is down by the market at the moment,
Right there, I'm coming at.
replenishing some of his own supplies.
Thank you. He would then go to the market, one sec, swapping batteries.
He's going to go to the market and swap batteries.
why not?
What's a battery?
It's a market.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's where I rob people.
Yeah, so then I'd go to the market and see what's up with the advisor guy. Bob.
Okay. You
So I'm
can
gonna-
you go visit Bob. What?
Sebastian's, or excuse me, Forsyth, brain's dead, is going to
No.
test the observations of the patrons of the market.
Over there.
Okay.
That's a way of saying steal.
He's going to redistribute wealth.
So I will
Okay.
see what kind of people are around and who might, well, say, have extra coin on hand.
I will check in with the order.
All right.
But I only got a 13.
You try a couple of times. You realize most of the patrons here are pretty aware.
Such is the way of life.
Oh my goodness.
Dirty's rolling high.
She's been doing that since Tuesday.
No, well. My dice finally caught on what I needed them to do. It only took them 5 years. Okay, so you head to the market. 6. You find Bob fairly easily. He's purchasing some what you recognize as being like magical supplies. Just from what knowledge you do have of the Arcana, you're figuring he's picking up
My
materials.
baby Bob.
The baby Bob. Not much of a baby, but
That's what the boys wanted to name their baby.
So,
Which is why Philip's middle name is Robert.
So I find him in the marketplace.
Yep.
Okay. I would just kind of fall in step with him and make small talk, ask him how he's doing, and ask him if anyone has arrived yet.
If anyone has arrived. I mean, we have merchants pass through here on the daily.
Fix just gives him the "you know what I'm talking about" look. He was part of that conversation.
You might have to remind the DM.
You sent a message through him.
Yes, I didn't have a message yet at the time.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
He will say, well, if they have arrived here, they have not made themselves known to me.
Very well.
I forgot you used him for that. Are you looking for someone in particular?
Don't know who.
Ah. All right. Well, best of luck finding whom you're not sure who you need to find.
Well, hopefully they make themselves known to you soon so that they can be of assistance.
Perhaps. We'll see. Perhaps they'll get here and realize that they don't necessarily need to assist in that manner.
And if so, maybe, possibly, therefore, unto.
Just Fix gives them that probably not look. Just kind of a deadpan stare of.
He's fixing a stare on him.
He sticks in a stare.
And then he'll toss him a handful of coins and head off.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to gold. He'll actually use it to probably pay for the materials.
It would have been about the amount needed for the materials.
Okay. I don't know how much that would be. That would be 7 gold.
Okay. And then you'd head back to the docks.
Okay. Evangeline, checking in with your order.
Mm-hmm.
You will see there Thomas. He seems to be giving some instructions to some various people. He spots you and says, hello. Back in town so soon.
Just passing through. We're heading to Wyron?
Weirfall?
I'm sorry, what?
Weirfall? Wyrons are dragon-like creatures that fly the skies.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
So this guy's a smart ass, huh?
we're headed to a castle. Because Evangeline's like brain dead right now.
You're headed to a castle.
We're looking outside of. It's outside of there, right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the big major castle is Castle Adventure to the north.
We're looking for Kosha. I have Kosha's name written down in the notes, but I don't have my notes.
You will not know who Kosha is because Kosha is the young urchin that was taken or willfully left. Who knows?
We are looking for a young street urchin from Feast. Oh my gosh, I gotta
Thrice.
Notes on Thrice.
Man, you are having issues tonight. You have been writing too many notes this past week.
I have been doing way too much. And getting called into a death ministry. Anyway,
Yep.
I will tell him that we're looking for that. We're headed that way to look for that for her because there seems to be some information leakage from the Order of Balance.
Interesting. I wonder why in Weirfall it doesn't have anything to do with the water spirits people. You could tell he's a little disgusted by it. He's like, silly people.
The water spirit people.
Yeah. Weirfall. It seems to be a central hub or central focus for this divine water spirits religion.
Interesting. I will ask him. So, what do you mean? I will ask him what he means by water spirit people.
They're not actual like water spirits. They're just people there that believe that the waters are imbued with spirits that give them healings and futures and things like that. There's a particular priestess there. I believe her name is Jalakor.
Spell that.
Jallacor.
Okay.
She's their priestess and seer. I don't put much stock in it. But mind yourself, Order of Truth does not have a presence there. There are no Aeon priests in that city. And the residents, they're okay with that.
Be careful. So this priestess, do they worship this water spirit like gods, like gods of old?
I don't know if it's an old god that they think they're worshiping or if it's just something entirely, you know how rumors start. Person gets into the water and they're healed and suddenly you have a religion.
They're just crazy.
They could just be crazy.
Well, I will take extra caution and pay extra attention as I'm there.
Yeah, just be mindful. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And have a good day.
Good day.
I said good day!
Good day.
Did you guys see Spirited? Did you guys watch Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell?
No,
No.
I have not seen that
Okay.
one.
Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. But I digress. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Forsyth, you're just running around the streets. Kadeth, are you doing anything particular in Boreg or just hanging out waiting?
Well, I'd check in with the Order of Balance, Dragon, the Raven Queen Temple, whatnot. Just check how things are going from their perspective. But
All right.
other than that, no.
All right. You run into Mistress Tamira, and she informs you everything is going pretty good. I mean, as well as one can expect when there's a change of power. Probably a little better. most people are happy with the change of power as it's coming about. So I think there's good things in the future here.
Good.
Seeker, do you do anything in Borag, or are you just hanging out?
I'm just hanging out because I don't remember Borag at all. I don't remember
All
what we
right.
did here or what was going on.
The
I'm
no-neck,
drawing a blank.
It's the no-neck
the
guild
no-neck
people.
village.
The No Neck Village. Oh, okay, I remember now. I thought it was a different name. I'm sorry.
No, that's Borag.
I was like, what's a bow rag? That what you wipe your bow with? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a Borag.
Never mind. Okay, so no, I'm not doing any. Well, I'll check in on the guards. There were a couple people that I sent home. If I can locate any of them and see how they're doing, maybe they're okay. I'll do that, but I don't want to take away game time to do that. That's
Yeah.
just ancillary things happen in the background.
Yeah. The ones that you sent home are not in the city. Their home is elsewhere. So they're not
Wow.
there.
Okay.
But the other guards, they seem to be doing pretty good. They're happy with where they're at. They'll let you know they like Lord Oma.
Okay.
He seems to be a wise leader.
Well, that's something. I didn't know him from Adam, so we just kind of inserted him. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know him either.
Okay.
By all means. By all rights, I guess. They didn't know him either. But they like him.
Yeah, so that's it for me. I'm not really doing anything.
All right. Well, the ship gets restocked. You guys get all restocked. You kind of head toward the boat. As you're heading back to the boat fix, you get bumped into.
Check your pockets.
I definitely check my pockets. I've been around Forsyth long enough.
Oh, yeah. You check your pockets and you're going to find a note.
I'll read it.
It says, tag you're it. Dolren.
I smirk and I look around, seeing if I can spot him.
Roll me a perception.
What is this guy's perception? Yeah, not bad. It's not as bad as Saturday's perception, so we'll go with that. That's canted. 22.
You take a good look around. You do not see him anywhere.
I'll take a moment and cast a message and just say, what would he say?
I don't know. You're fit.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying very hard to separate Browning from Fix. So
I don't know. Not funny, brother.
I don't see much difference between the two, to be honest. They're both kind of elitist people that want to put people to work for them everywhere they go and insult those that are not nobles. So similar. Just saying.
no. See, the difference is Browning wouldn't have insulted her. He just would have killed her. But
I think he would have talked some smack, just like Fix does.
well,
I'm just saying.
A little.
Maybe.
It can't be a good fight if you don't talk a little smack beforehand.
True.
Must monologue. It's the bane of every villain.
420 years ago, I deigned to kick your ass, and today is the culmination of said ass kicking. I don't know.
He'll say, "Nicely done. I still hate you."
You'll get a response fair.
And then he'll actually kind of flick his fingers in the air and burn the note.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, you head on to the boat.
Mhm.
All right. You guys load back up and you head westward on the Weir River. It's another week or so. You do pass another city, Beoth, or both. I don't know. Beoth. I don't know. How would you pronounce that? Beoth.
Both, yeah.
You do pass another city, although they're not planning on docking unless you feel like you need to dock.
Nope.
Not in Beoth. All right. You head on down the river. You realize that at this point in the river, there's a lot more traffic in the river between Beoth and Weirfall until you finally make it to Weirfall. As you float up to Weirfall, you notice right away that this is a city. It's multi-tiered, built amid a series of waterfalls where the Weir cascades through the Eris Canyon. The people of Iskabal, because that's the country that it's in, you see a lot of the people of Iskabal standing amid the waters where they cascade. They seem to focal around the various waterfalls that come down. You see a large couple of spires that seem to be temple-esque in nature, rising amid the waterfalls and the rocky outcroppings of the city. And the boat pulls in and docks. He says, the boatmaster, I don't know if I gave him a name, the captain, thanks you profoundly for the guarding of his vessel, particularly in the first jaunt that was not so safe, and pays you each 300 gold. I had to see what I said I was going to give you.
Why, thank you.
That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
Oh,
Is that-
please, no, not that song.
That's Chuck's song.
That's my song.
Every
3 years in a row, I sing that song.
Christmas.
Yes, but you were so good at it.
I know. It was fun.
And he was a marvelous dance partner too.
Yes. All right. The
I
city is
took off some
yours.
money for what I bought in town because I didn't make any money there.
They were too vigilant for you, huh?
Yeah, I rolled like crap.
They learned their lesson.
Teach your children well.
So you end up in Weirfall. You are welcome to peruse the town. Seeker, you have not been here.
Nope.
This is one of the few towns that you've never been asked to go to. Matter of fact, you've pretty much steered clear of it. You definitely have the feeling that the order is not necessarily, though
Welcome.
they won't, yeah, though they're not openly hostile to the order, they definitely don't want you to take up residence.
I will make sure that I am not sporting anything on my person that may make them think that I am a member of the order.
Same.
All right.
So I'm
I
just
will do
going
the
very
same.
incognito
I will do the same. It's very easy.
because of that insight.
I will walk among them as a fairly short elf.
All right.
How do they generally feel about the Order of Balance here?
Um, they've really not heard of the Order of Balance here.
Okay. Then I'll just be normal.
Sounds like a circus act.
Yeah. All right.
And Fix walks proudly with his deity symbol on his shield because he doesn't know any
That
other.
I don't hide. Yeah, that I don't hide. But the order thing.
Yeah. All right. So you walk about town. Forsyth, you will get a few glances because of your elven presence. But they pass it off fairly quickly because you're with a group of very humanesque people.
Right.
But you do get a few glances.
Interesting.
As
Was not what I was
you
looking for.
yeah, as you go about town, you definitely see lots of symbols of water, of the water element, things that you might consider like fairies or sprites, perhaps, being symbolized as being water spirits, things of that nature about town. Just like town signs look like they have a little symbol on them, regardless of the name of the business or road or whatever. You see people about town with little symbols on them. It seems to be very prevalent in Weirfall. Just so you know, as you're walking about town. You do know that there is passage to go across the river to another small dock across the river to head north because it's on the southern side of the Weir River. Weirfall is because it's in Iskabel.
Constantinople.
And Constantinople, yes. Iskabel is Iscobal, in case you want to know that spelling. And you will need to go across the river to head north into Draolus. Is it Draolus? I believe it's Draolus. I could totally be wrong. Let me double check. Yes, Draolus. I was right. So, anything you wish to explore in Weirfall, or are you just going to immediately seek passage?
How close can I get to people in the marketplace?
Pretty close. I mean, they're not
Okay.
like giving you huge bursts or anything.
Right.
They
But
just
they're not
glance your
they're
way.
not afraid
and then,
of me or anything.
No, it's just you. If your whole party were elves, maybe, but
I got
it's
a
just you.
dirty 20 for
Oh, nice.
sleight of hand. Oh no, that's only an 11 on the die.
Sheesh. All right. Well, you are going to be able to sleight of hand a few things. You're going to get probably the few people as you're walking by, you just get real close and real quick, right through the pouch or whatever. You're going to hit 3 or 4 people. You're going to get a total of like 16 gold.
Okay.
And you're going to end up picking up 2 coins that have the symbol of water on one side, and on the other side has like, it looks like a fairy or a sprite on the other side.
Okay. Interesting. I will put that on my list of things I've got. The 2 coins of where?
2 coins of Weirfall.
All right. Noted. Do I see anything or hear anything unusual when walking among the people?
you hear something unusual. You will hear a few people speak of an unusual sighting. Something that's just shown up, probably from what you're gathering from a few people talking, probably within the last week or so. That there have been 8 humanoid creatures, machines. They're guessing they are metal, and they seem to be. I mean, they look like dead bodies until you get up to them and you see that they're metal. But they're lying on the bank of the Weir River, just outside of town, a couple miles outside of town.
I will, of course, share this information when I get back among the others. Not sure what it means for us, but interesting. Okay.
All right. Anybody else?
Does that mean anything to me when he says that? Probably not, but I'm going to ask.
No, not really. You know that Evangeline, she has a construct that follows her. I mean, it's not humanoid, but you've heard of constructs, so you're thinking that maybe it might be some kind of construct or something. It's unusual that like they're just left there. I mean, Evangeline doesn't leave her construct just lying around.
It's right there.
Costs a lot.
Okay. Well, I
Seems
know
like
Evangeline's probably going to check that out, right?
Yep. You got that
If you want
right.
me to go with you, I will go with you.
All right. That would be a definite.
Thank you.
anybody else going to go with her or
Fix-
plan a time to go.
Fix
Yeah,
would
I'll go
offer.
with
Can
her.
make us a meeting.
I mean,
Six will go.
Might as well all go, I guess.
while
Yeah.
not really played into it much, Fix is very much into mechanical things.
Kinda interested, just a bit.
Kinda.
Kinda, sorta.
Well, I mean,
It's
Cadet,
new, it's unusual.
you would know that even though you're not an artificer yourself or totally into the mechanical side of things, you know that most constructs are powered by a bit of magic. And
True.
that is always intriguing. So, all right. So you guys, grab a bite on your way out of town, heading further west. I believe it is further west. Yep, along the Weir River bank, west out of town. You travel for about an hour tops. It's a couple of miles. And lo and behold, you do see 6. I did say 6, right? Nope, 8. You do see 8. What appears to be dead bodies from a distance. As you get closer, you begin to see that they are indeed shine a little bit with the setting sun, and they're definitely metal.
As we get close, I'm going to sit down and cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
If we're in the
You get
road, I
close.
would suggest you step off of the road so you don't get ran over by a horse.
Since Seeker is not an idiot, he looks at Fix from the side of the road and just continues with Incantation.
That's why I said if you are in the road.
Is not or presumes he's not.
All right.
Just a question.
I'm waiting for Seeker to tell me whether or not there's magic or not.
All right.
If
Seeker,
there's
after-
magic in them, their bodies.
You believe in magic,
And
Johnson.
In a young girl's heart. So when I'm done, I'll head over there and start. Well, I'm going to start looking from where I'm at,
All right.
and then just keep going.
All right. All right. As you finish, I don't know if that's going to be right, because it definitely is made of metal. Although it does have a metallic look to it. You are definitely not encountering one of those. Are you kidding me? Nope, I think it is.
So
gonna be
while
one of
Jody
those.
looks for that,
All right.
um,
All right. Did you want to do something else before I jump into this?
no,
Oh, okay. All right. It is indeed going to be one of those. All right. As you finish your detect magic, you do see a faint glow from one of the 8.
I just point to
One of
that
them.
one.
One of them in the middle.
I point to that one and start heading towards it.
And
Mace,
I will follow.
Following at a distance.
shield is on, and my weapon is in hand just in case something, decides to get up and get froggy.
And these things don't seem to have anybody around. Like, there's nobody around, right?
No. Matter of fact, oddly enough, nothing seems to be around them.
Because they killed it all.
I want to make sure I'm going to do these guys right. Okay. As you get closer, the magic begins to grow and become a little stronger.
I'm letting Evangeline know that.
I'm going to do an Arcana check.
All right.
Just as soon as I figure out which one are 20-siders and which ones are 12-siders.
I'm going to do an underwear check.
That is a 23 on Arcana.
Okay. You know that constructs can be powered by magic. I mean, you kind of imbued your own with some magic. This looks different. As you get closer, you will all begin to notice that this looks a little less like metal as you get closer to it, and more like glass.
Iron flesh? Oh, no. Okay.
No, glass. And as you get closer to it, you see it's transparent. And inside it are thousands of insects.
That's different.
Transparent. Maybe we should look into that.
So we see them as insights, but they're Nanites, most likely.
Well, you see them as insects. They don't
Oh,
look
okay.
like nanites. They look like insects.
I would have some familiarity with nanites because I studied them after
True, you
we
did.
got back from the Black Dewey place.
That's true. You did. With your Arcana check, you see that this is not
Okay.
nanites. There's something. These are actually biological insects. Um,
I share everything.
Okay. So they're
you
being
can
contained inside the magically glowing one,
yes.
I'm going to
and
stop
the
and look at
magic gets
one that's
stronger as we approach.
not glowing before we get any closer.
Okay, you're
Okay.
gonna
Oh,
approach a non-glowing one.
a non-glowing one.
Okay. As you get close to the non-glowing one, what you see kind of moving in the glowing one, you can see in the non-glowing one, but they seem to be inert. The middle one, the one that is glowing for you, Seeker, begins
Hmm.
to sit up.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stop, tap Evangeline on the shoulder because she's looking at another one. I don't know if anybody else moved up with us, so that's why I'm only talking about Evangeline.
Oh, Fix would have kept nearby.
Yeah,
I was following at a distance.
I'm probably not too far behind you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped.
As I turn and look and see it setting up, I'm going to grab a hold of my scepter just in case.
Okay.
Does it do anything?
It just kind of sits there for just a moment, and then it'll stand up. And as it stands up, this thing is like 7.5 feet tall.
Okay. Is there an insight or anything? Is it just saying hello? Is it angry? Is it happy?
Roll me an insight.
Don't mind if I do. 15.
15. Your insight will tell you that it doesn't have speech,
Mm-hmm.
but it does seem like it would be willing to communicate, but it doesn't have speech. So it just kind of stands up and looks at you.
Anybody have some sort of language? What is
That
that?
sound?
That is my phone.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Anybody
Lila's
have any type
texting.
of
Gotcha.
language ability or communication ability?
Hold on one
Not
second.
as of yet.
Common and undercommon, that's what I have. I can speak with
I'll try
animals.
draconic. Well, they're insects inside of a construct, but okay. I'll try draconic. Does it respond?
It just kind of tilts its head.
I will say
Okay.
something on undercommon.
You get the same kind of reaction.
Okay.
Does this? They look like constructs, right? Do
They
they look?
look like constructs, yes.
I think as fascinated as Fix and probably Evangeline are with robotics and things like that, do they look like they're of a specific make, be it gnomish or anything like that?
Hard to say. You're not really sure. It's different. It's something that you've really not seen before. It's very smooth. Very smooth lines. Has a muscular type figure. Elongated fingers. Very thick, wide neck.
Fix will take out a piece of parchment and quill and write, "Can you write?" and then go to hand it to him.
It looks at it, kind of holds out its hand to take the paper, and then just kind of looks at you. Doesn't seem that it reads. Just so you get a picture.
We've seen Forsyth shift into animals and everything, right?
Yeah.
Wait, show that again. I was reading something,
Oh.
Jody. Sorry.
Well, see, this is why you need to pay attention.
You're on another screen. Oh. Okay.
What it kind of looks like.
And
You
these
said
things
it
are
looks
about
like
as
they're-
tall as me.
It looks like there's bugs
Mhm.
inside, is what you said?
Oh yeah, there's bugs swarming all
It's
over the
made
place.
out of glass.
It's glass, and on the inside you see bugs swarming down through the arms, through the chest, up through the head, like doing all kinds of stuff in there, moving about. Like
It's a biodome.
We know that Forsyth's a druid, right? We've seen him shift into animals and
You've
things
seen
like
him
that.
shift, yeah.
I don't know what the hell Forsyth is.
Forsyth is a mystery.
An enigma
something.
wrapped
Forsyth,
in a
enigma.
mystery.
An enigma.
do you happen to have the ability to speak with insects?
Well, I can speak with animals. I'm not sure if insects fall under that. I don't believe they do.
Mm,
Beasts.
I don't know. They could
Yeah.
be teeny tiny little beasts.
Yeah,
I speak to it in common. Does it respond to common?
Just kind of gives you a quizzical look.
I don't at this time have the ability to speak with them. Does not mean I might not at a later date, but at this time I do not.
hmm.
The only
I
other,
know of a spell that allows you to speak with insects.
Neither do I.
I'll try Sylvan. More of a Fey language, but never
Sylvan
know.
Learning Center.
Sylvan Learning Center. It will just look at you quizzically.
Okay. Let's see.
That's an area they really left blank. It's how to communicate with and direct insects. A druid should be able to do that at some point.
I would imagine your speak with animals or speak with beasts would.
It
Would do
specifically says beasts, and beast is a
Yeah.
subtype
beast
of
is the
animal.
word there.
Yeah, it's a subclass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
You
of
don't
any
have
insects.
speak with animals anymore?
No, I have
Well,
speak with animals.
It specifically says you can
Okay.
speak with beasts.
Yeah, but the spell description says beasts.
Yeah, so if these
And
are
it's
beasts,
always
then he
limited
can
by
do it.
intelligence level.
If they're intelligent beasts, then he can talk to them.
So rabbits.
Let me take a look.
Kitty cats.
Dire wolves.
Swarm of insects. Medium swarm of tiny beasts.
There you go.
They are tiny
Stop
beasts.
arguing with me!
I cast first level speak with animals. There.
Jody, the correct answer is your character's dead until you learn to respect.
Most animals are beasts, unless they're magically altered, in which case they're monstrosities.
Anything you guys want me to say while I got their attention?
If you can talk to them, please communicate. Why is he
Nope.
here? What is he doing?
Yeah.
What
So,
happened?
I see all these dead inanimate or inoperative inanimate objects here, and you're inside one. And it seems to me that there's a purpose behind this. Can you define what you're doing and how you do it?
I was not
You will-
expecting that from Forsyth. I was expecting a, yo, what you doing here?
Yeah.
His intelligence level is fairly high. 11. What is charisma? It's only 11.
It says we work together.
Understand.
We do not know how we came here.
So what do you actually do inside this form that you fill?
We are protectors.
And what do you exactly protect?
The energy.
Energy. The energy within this body you fill, or some other energy?
Both.
Both. So are you providing the energy for this form, or is there some energy source within it that you protect?
Speaker, about this time, you're going to see two of the others begin to glow.
Do they have bugs as well?
Yes, you begin to see bugs moving about them.
So, can you ask him what's making them all wake up?
Sure, I can ask. And what's making your compatriots wake up? The other forms to the sides? Is it just our presence, or is there something else that is causing this awakening?
It is time.
Time. Time for what?
We awaken when time comes.
Are you a danger to us or to someone else?
What is the time right now? Fix that. It would know.
It's nearing sunset. But the rumors did say that they've been here for at least a week.
So what is it time for?
Protect.
And what are you going to protect?
We must protect the energy.
Are you going to harm someone?
Only those who take the energy.
Where is the energy?
Here.
Maybe we could help protect with you?
Now the question is, do insects have insight?
Well, Not just the insects.
Insects do have eyesight.
I only have rolled an 8 in insights.
They will say energy kills.
Many things kill, but is this energy something we can see or experience, or is this an energy source?
Source.
So it's is it in some kind of container, or is it really large?
And temple.
In the temple.
The other two begin to stand up.
Okay. Do I see what direction they're looking?
They seem to be mostly, they kind of shift left, right, down. They tend to focus down.
Down. Okay. Can you take us to this energy and maybe we can help you protect it?
Maybe. Cannot get close.
You cannot get close. Might we be able to get close? Since we are not dependent or resistant, it might not affect us.
We can get close.
Okay. Well, maybe, as I said, maybe we can help you protect it. Who asks you to help protect it? Who directs you?
Our maker?
And who would that be?
Unknown.
Unknown. You don't know who made you or who sent you on this task. Are these other forms on the ground here going to be awakening to help you protect it?
Yes. We awaken.
Okay.
You'll see two more begin to glow.
No offense if I opened this body you inhabit up, would you then be free to escape this servitude, or is this existence something you prefer?
Symbiotic.
Symbiotic, okay. So you work together with the entity you internalize. Okay. Interesting. Any other thoughts, guys?
Well, who's been a threat to the energy?
Yeah, I thought that a good question. What is the threat to the energy?
They start looking at each other at this point. The other three begin to glow.
Okay.
Unknown.
Don't know what the threat is. How do you protect if you don't know what you're protecting from?
Protect from outside.
Outside. Okay. Well, is it okay if we follow you and see what you are actually protecting and possibly ascertain what you're protecting from?
You may follow.
Okay. Now, this speech is only going to last 10 minutes.
You're about 9 minutes into it.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. That's why I'm alerting you to that. I mean, there's only so much you can gain from, because the intelligence level is obviously not extreme, but it does help me to understand them. All right. Well, we will follow you, and we will see if we can help you, and see if we can answer some of the other questions that are in our minds at such time as the information is readily available. But I thank you for communicating with me.
They will turn. The other ones will stand up. And they turn and they begin to walk off into the river.
Okay.
This could be a problem.
Not for all of us.
But for most of us,
Let me see what I have here.
Because I don't know how to give us gills.
Yeah, I can't give you gills, but okay.
Not with unwilling servitude.
For the stupidity of it, I will actually wild shape and follow them.
Okay.
And just for the ability given, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the giant octopus shape.
Okay. All right.
Bye,
They are walking.
Forsyth. Nice knowing you.
Splitting the party.
Yeah, I can't help you underwater. Sorry, you have fun with that.
Understand, but I've got a swim speed of 60, so
All right.
I can get
get
away.
away from a lot of things.
Yeah.
They're moving half your speed. They walk down into the water, down into the bottom of the river, which is super deep. As they, kind of walk off an edge, it kind of drops down, and they just kind of slowly down the water. All 8 of them reach down to the bottom. They turn around, and they walk through a wall. Basically, it's the edge of the riverbed. You're at the bottom of a fairly deep river. I'm going to say it's a good 40 feet, 50 feet.
Okay. That's pretty deep for a river.
Yeah. And they walk into the side. It just looks like dirt. They walk right on through, all 8 of them.
Okay. Possibly an illusion. So I will attempt to follow them.
All right. You follow them in. When you pass through the illusion, you are still in water. It is still completely covered in water. So you're swimming along behind them for a good 20 minutes as they walk through a tunnel. You get to a point in the tunnel where there is a shimmering wall. As you get closer to it, you realize that you're going to pop out of the water and there won't be any more water. That shimmering wall seems to be holding the water back.
Okay. I have 10 feet of movement.
All right.
I can hold my breath for an hour.
Okay. All right. You pop out of the water and you continue to follow them in your octopus form. They travel another 10 minutes before they come to a door. It's not like anything you have ever seen before. This is a metal door. Though it doesn't look like it's iron or feel it's a very unusual silvery metal that they put a hand up on it, or the
Okay,
front one does.
I'm gonna unshape.
Okay. They put a hand upon it and wait just a moment, and the door opens this way, splits right down the
Okay.
middle. You didn't even notice a seam in the middle of it,
Okay.
and it pulls apart. As you walk into you kind of follow them, and you see this huge cavern.
Say cavern or tavern? I'm thirsty.
Well, I don't know. You might be
Water.
able to find a tavern in here. It's a huge cavern. Like, it's impossibly huge. Like, you did not go that deep, and you didn't go down really any further. It's,
Okay.
you know, it's got the TARDIS effect. You know, it's bigger on the inside.
Right.
It's huge. And you see before you a very large spire, and there's a huge circular, almost looks like a portal, but it's not shimmering like portals that you have seen people use and stuff. There is a floating ball, almost orb, in the center of it that seems to send out a crackling energy just every so often. It's fairly dim. It's not very bright.
Like me.
The crackling energy is not. It doesn't seem super powerful. It seems weak. Seems slow. Like you can trace it pretty quickly. It's not as fast as what you've seen lightning, things like that, you know, which is what you can compare this to, but it seems slow.
Is there a consistency to it?
No,
Like
it is very sporadic.
Okay.
Interesting. Very sporadic. There is a walkway that extends out in front of you up to steps to that orb. And then off to the left and to the right, there are other walkways. Around the edge of this room looks like it's cityscape, like there's buildings and windows and things like that all around. As you kind of follow up the spire, you see stars.
Okay. Can I? Okay, I can see up above. I can see stars, but not to the sides. I see walls. Right.
Right, you see walls that look like buildings. Looks
Is
like a
there a
cityscape.
path? Can I see a path out into the night sky?
No, there's nothing that leads out of this dorm or dome. I guess I should say dome.
The bummer is that I cannot shapeshift into a flying creature yet. I'm trying to think here. Okay, I am. Are these creatures watching me at all, or are they just going into positions, or what?
They walk as you stop and watch them for a minute. You see two of them walk down toward the orb and place themselves at the foot of the stairs. You see the other 6 of them split off, 3 and 3 to the left and to the right. They seem to be going elsewhere.
Okay. Are there any breezes in here? Indications
No.
of passages or whatever?
No. The air is uncomfortably still.
Okay, and how about light? Besides the orb, is there any light?
You do not perceive any light coming from any other location.
Okay. Dang, I wish I knew how to mark this position. I'm trying to think my way through this, and this is. I wish I could fly, and make this whole thing a lot easier.
I don't think we were supposed to see all of this.
Understand. I'm going to follow one of the groups going off to the side for now,
Okay. All
to the
right.
left.
You see them walk off. They're walking around the circular edge of this dome. I don't know how far you plan on following them, but they're going to get at least what you think is maybe halfway around, which is a good 10-15 minute walk.
Okay.
Rob, is your wife watching something? Every now and then.
I'll close my door. I didn't know if you guys could hear that or not. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just every now and then it's like, woo! It's like one of those,
Is
the
that
credits
better?
are louder than everything else.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
much.
Sorry.
It's like,
These
the
are
talking
super
section,
sensitive.
sure, I can't hear anything, but when there's background, effects and things, it's always louder than the talking.
True.
So you get
So
about halfway around the dome-esque area. It takes a good 15 minutes to go that far, though.
right.
They will begin to, on another passage, head toward the center where that orb is, only you're on the side of it now.
Okay. Are there any side passages, any places I can unfollow them?
Yeah, there's several little, what seems to be buildings, alleyways.
Okay. I'm going to take one and walk outward from the orb to see if I can find any exits out of the cavern area.
Okay. Well, you start walking down some alleyways, kind of ducking in between and out and around. Eventually, you will hit what looks like to be the same metal from the door. You'll hit a wall, and so you think you've hit the edge of the dome.
Okay, so the dome has stuff built into it, but there's an opening at the top.
Well, it appears to be an opening at the top. You see stars.
Okay, they could be painted stars. Understand. I will follow along the wall of the dome for a little bit to the south.
Okay. You follow the dome for a while. It's curved. You feel like you're probably, once you kind of travel just a little bit, you feel like you are definitely in a sphere of some
Okay.
kind. You can feel the curvature of the dome as you move around a little bit. There's some stairs up, some stairs down, to other buildings and stuff. And you can tell that there's a curvature that gives you the impression that this is a gigantic sphere.
Okay. But I can't find any other exit from the sphere than the way that I came in,
Yep.
at least at ground level. Okay. I'm going to walk back and approach the orb.
Okay. The two standing at the bottom of the stairs will
Before I get near it,
step forward.
I'm going to cast protection from energy.
Oh, that is probably a good thing. Which energy?
Let's see. I'm going to go with lightning.
All right. How close are you going to get? You get about halfway there, and that's when they start to step forward.
Okay. I will once again cast Speak with Animals. And I will say, is this the energy that you protect?
This is the energy.
Why is now the right time?
Unknown.
But something called you to it, and you don't even know what called you to it? This seems odd at best, confusing at least.
We were not called to it. We were returned to it.
So you started here. Is this energy of this world?
Unknown.
Okay. Because if they'd have been inside the sphere, they wouldn't know where they came from. Okay. So something has awakened you. You don't know what it is that has awakened you. You just know you have a need to protect, right?
Protect.
How powerful do these things look?
Oh,
To my
pretty good.
okay.
I mean,
Stab it and find
I
out.
mean,
they are definitely
no.
well built. They're constructs, so you know their strength is probably pretty good.
Right.
They're very well built. Even though they look like glass, you have a pretty good sneaky suspicion they're probably going to be harder to hit. They're going to have some oomph behind them. And you definitely don't want one to fall on you.
Right.
They
Okay.
definitely
Well,
look heavy.
that does tell me a whole lot. So, and there's 8 of them and 1 of me. So, well, I thank you for the information. I am not sure how. Is there another entrance to this sphere or only through the water?
Through the water.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay. Unfortunately, my compatriots cannot attend to helping you because they cannot go through the water as I can. But I will consult with them and see if there is a way we can help you. And if so, then we will return and let you know. But for now, I do thank you for your time. So I'll go back to where I came from and go through the water again as a octopus, and there goes my other wild shape. And yeah, but it was I knew I was saving it for coming back. That was an easy given.
Yeah, you do notice that as you approach the door, it just opens for you. Like you didn't.
Right.
That's fine. It just opens for you.
Okay, so Starship Enterprise. Okay, and I will go back and I will let everyone know about the sphere, the energy orb in the middle, and the fact that there's no way I could have taken the sphere with me, but it looks like something that someone with ill intent would love to take.
So he shares
They
all of
would
his
pay dearly
findings.
for.
Yeah, it's been,
How long?
you know, he came back up for, I mean, we're talking 45 minutes almost.
How long did it take you to get to a point where you could breathe again?
I was underwater for probably 20 minutes. I was probably gone for 2 hours, based on what you were saying.
He's been gone for about 45 minutes.
Oh, 45 minutes. So 10 minutes underwater.
To you,
Yeah.
it felt like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
He's been gone for about 45 minutes.
Okay. It felt like forever. It's a long way down, though. We're talking 40 feet underwater,
Yeah.
and a passage of water after that. So until I came to basically a force shield that held the water back. So this is not a simple task, but if you were able to get like rings of water breathing or potions of water breathing, you would easily be able to accomplish the task. I just bring back the information. I don't know how you guys want to proceed.
Well, there's nothing that I've got that can get us there. I don't know about the rest of you.
I have a feeling that the location of this, compared to our objective for this trip, is too coincidental.
Is there a magic shop?
In Weirfall?
Mhm.
Probably.
What time is it?
The
Evening.
sun is setting. Like, the sun is really kind of pushing the horizon now. It's getting dark. It's dusk.
I would try to find the Numenera shop. I don't know what the proper term would be.
First, we have to get back in
Treasures and
town.
relics. Yeah, it's going to take you about an hour to get back in town.
Then we better start now.
Yeah, we might end up having to sleep the night and wait till tomorrow.
All right, you head back into town. Make sure I spelled that right. Okay. You head back into town, and you see that a majority of the people in town, the streets are fairly clear. It seems like a majority of people seem to be converging upon or are already at the base of a couple of sets of waterfalls that are coming out of this temple as the evening lands. You will see a woman. Let me see if it gets her description.
Hey, Jody.
Yes?
I want to look at the coins that I obtained and compare the metal to the metal of the sphere.
Okay. We'll come back to that. You're going to need to give me an investigation check for that. You will see an extremely tall, beautiful woman with almost silvery hair come out in robes of varying shades of blue, come out a good, 30 feet above the people in like a little balcony between the waterfalls. She comes out, she begins to speak. She speaks in common, and she speaks words of affirmation, encouragement, beauty, and she, praises the water spirits for blessings upon the crops and the weather and other such things. There's no real teachings per se. It's really just more of an edification, uplifting encouragement kind of thing. She takes about an hour, and then she turns around and walks away.
Her name must be Wendy.
Her name is Wendy, yes. Because she is long-winded to say the same thing in multiple words.
Are we near people?
Yeah, you can be as near people as you want.
Fix would kind of nudge somebody and motion up towards Slade and be like, "Hey, who's that?"
They will kind of look at you and kind of do a little bit of a double take, like that is Priestess Jellicar or Jellicor. How did I call her?
What's she the priestess of?
She leads us and is our intermediary to the water spirits.
CORE is at the end of what you told me. Jealous core.
COR. No E.
No E.
No E. Jellicor.
So
the E
Fix
helps
has
you to
been
remember how to pronounce it.
Fix has been spending time learning about religions and things like that since everything's been going down. Is there a god that he would attribute to water or water spirits?
Triton? I don't know. Is it King Triton? Who's the water spirit?
He's king. He's king of the mermaids.
King of
Actually,
the mermaids.
Triton and Neptune.
Neptune, that's right.
One of them's Greek and one of them's Roman, I think.
You mean
Yeah.
Poseidon?
Poseidon.
Poseidon,
That's
that's
who I was
it.
thinking.
Okay.
Poseidon the point.
Poseidon.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You might have been reading about some of these older gods. Maybe Auril.
So Fix would just kind of
Eldath.
start going through these names, like who does she worship? Is it Poseidon? Is it Neptune? Is it? And he's just listing them off, looking and waiting for some sense of recognition, possibly.
The more you rattle off, the more confused they get. It's the water spirits.
Oh. Well, that's not as interesting. But thank you. Maybe it will be interesting when I learn more about it.
Yes. You should learn more.
Okay.
She speaks every night.
Is it the same stuff that she says?
Not every night, no.
Oh. What other stuff does she say?
She spoke of a otherworldly entity.
Oh, by the name of?
A name was not given. But she spoke of it about a week before those 8 dead metal people showed up.
Oh, they're no longer dead.
Would Fix correlate that to anything that they were doing at that time?
What you were doing, or what
we were doing as a group?
What you were doing as a group. It was about 2 weeks ago. Probably that was about the time you were taking care of Boreg.
Okay.
Or you were in Thrice. No, you were in Thrice about 2 weeks ago.
What's this entity going to do?
She has not said yet.
Oh. Is it a good entity, a bad entity?
She hasn't said that yet either.
So it's just an entity.
It's an entity. If it were bad, I'm sure she would give us warning.
I would think that if it was good, she would let you know so you could be happy.
Well, perhaps it is good, and the goodness is not meant to be known yet.
Or perhaps it is bad and she doesn't want you to be scared.
You see a little bit of like, oh, I didn't think of that.
while they're talking, I'm going to be walking behind them, taking things.
All right. I need an investigation check from you for the coins.
22.
22. Looking at the coin, it does appear to be of some kind of make of that same metal, but it's
Okay.
not as refined.
Okay, no problem. Leftover.
Kinda.
So it could be unearthly metal.
Could be.
Okay, and I got a 26 on my sleight of hand.
Okay. Let's see what you get. You're going to pick up 3 gold
Okay.
and another one of those coins.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
how does one get an audience with the priestess? I'm somewhat of a
Oh.
priest myself. He says as he taps his symbol.
I do not recognize that symbol.
That's fine. You don't need to. How do I get an audience with her?
You would have to go and talk to her guards at the base of the temple.
Oh, great. And he turns and he starts kind of skipping off that way.
Oh dear. All
Whether
right.
others
The rest,
follow him or not, he doesn't run from them, but
you will see Fix talk with one of the locals and eventually head toward the base of the temple. Does anybody wish to follow?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Do I
right.
recognize any of the symbols from this temple or anything?
You do not, although with your background and with your knowledge, you probably can figure out that most of these symbols will tie back to an ancient symbol of water. They all are some variant of that symbol.
Okay.
I will point out to the group that the coins seem to be of the same type of metal as the sphere.
Oh, you didn't know?
It's really noisy.
Close.
Something is really, really noisy.
And it isn't me this time.
Yeah. Rob got visited by his wife.
I did. I told her that they can hear it out there, and it's all the way. Doesn't even been to my house. My office is far from the living room, so that is. I can't believe they can hear that.
What?
when Forsyth tells us about the coins, Fix would ask if he could see one.
I will hold one out for him to see. I'll even let him hold it. Just make sure he gets it back.
Fix will take it and he'll pull out like his jeweler's loop and things like that and start examining it closely. I mean, he would know metals fairly well.
Yes, you would. Roll me. What is it that you roll? Arcana? Is that what you roll?
I could do Arcana, or
I mean, I can even take like nature if you want, like nature or survival or something of that nature to recognize, like if it's an ore or anything like that.
I'll take Arcana.
Okay.
20.
What's that?
Arcana for 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Arcana for 22.
Arcana for 22. Got it. With your Arcana, as you're looking at it, you can see that this is an unusual metal. Matter of fact, the metal probably will resonate magic really nicely. But it is definitely in the form that you have in your hand. It is not refined. It is almost like a nugget per se just got pressed into coin shape, like it wasn't refined at all.
Fix spent quite a bit of time with that sword.
Hmm.
Interesting thought.
Is the metal similar?
As you're looking at it, there probably is a bit of similarity between that metal and the metal on the sword. But the metal on the sword is definitely refined. And
Oh, yeah.
refined very well.
I would point that out.
Very interesting.
And then, Forsyth, how many of these coins do you have?
Currently, 3.
Based on Fix's knowledge of smithing, I doubt that he would know, or that he would think that 3 would be enough to refine into anything.
I can get
Not
more.
really.
If you could get more, I mean, even if I just refined it into a needle or something small that we could see if it would hold on to magic or what it could do.
Yeah, I can get more because the people here carry them.
Perhaps we can trade in gold from their bank rather than stealing from everyone. Just a
Where's the
thought.
fun in that?
Just a thought. But
Man, you take the fun out of everything.
A challenge.
and then I'd toss it to Kadeth and I'd be like, it's like your sword, isn't it? Or very similar.
Kadeth, do you investigate the coin that was just tossed to you? Stop looking
Yeah.
at your homework.
Sorry. I do have a lot to do.
I saw that look of concentration on your face. You were zoned, man.
Well, there was a lot going on that Kadath wasn't even really there for. So,
True,
Yep.
true.
yeah, actually, I was wanting to look at the coins now that we know about them.
And Fix would kind of flip one to
Using my-
Kadath. Be like, here, only way I can get it up to you. Catch.
I'll grab it out of the air. With my knowledge of history and stuff, what do I know about? Like, is there anything I would have heard about that with the symbols on them, with anything relating to a water deity?
The symbols themselves don't seem associated with any deities that you know of. That they are just variations of water. Although the coins do look like they're all the same variation of the water symbol that you've been seeing. Looks like a simple waterfall with the splash at the bottom per se. The backside definitely has what looks like a sprite or pixie, a tiny winged creature that you've read about, never seen. You've never seen
Right.
one. But you've read about them, and you're kind of figuring that it's probably a sprite or a pixie, perhaps. But nothing that screams like, oh, this is this old god. It's just all kind of generic symbols of water.
Okay. Are there any particular old gods that are related to water?
There, not that really comes to mind. There are several that could,
It could
come with
be, but
water.
not necessarily.
Right. Yeah, there are several that are associated with water in some manner, but no one in particular that this is definitely we're dealing with this or whatever.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll share the very little amount that I know, but yeah, I don't really know as much as I would like to on this, unfortunately, Fix. Um, yeah, so I'll give the coin back to Fix.
Fix will catch it and then hand it back to Forsyth.
All right. At this point, you're headed toward the temple. Do any of you need to take a break? Because we're a little over the time I would prefer to take a break, but I thought I'd check.
Sounds like you need to take a break.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
probably
mind to take a break.
we could
We can take like a 5-ish minute break.
5. Let's take 5. And we'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back.
All right. All right. We left off with everybody heading toward the temple. You reach the bottom of the temple while you're kind of talking about this coin. It gets handed back to you, Forsyth, and you are muted.
Okay.
Okay. And then you see at the bottom, you see the two guards. They'll step forward and kind of cross their spears, per se, and say, halt.
Wow. Those are, yeah. So, anyways, I'd like an audience with your priestess. Please.
For what business?
To discuss who she worships?
I get a very quizzical look, like she is an intermediary for the water spirits.
To discuss her connection with the water spirits.
You wish to become, what's the word I'm looking for? Acolytes?
Yeah. Followers.
Followers?
Well, first I'd like to discuss things with her, and then we can decide if there's going to be any sort of acolytion initiative.
One of the guards reaches over and he grabs a rope and he kind of pulls on the rope and lets it go. He only pulls it once. And after a moment, you hear like a little ting of a bell. And they'll go, very well. And they'll pull their spears aside and they'll step aside and let you pass.
Am I going to die in there?
Hope not.
No, he asked
Should
the
not.
guards. Like,
You should not.
okay. Just making
Unless,
sure.
of course, you are to attack the priestess, of course, then it won't fare well.
Look, do I have a dagger. I'm not going to attack anybody. Here, do you want the dagger?
Okay. No.
Okay.
You can just don't pull it out.
Oh, I just
Priestess
okay. He put it back.
Put it away. The priestess will can take care of herself, very much so. But should it come to violence, there will be others.
Good to know. So lock the door. Good thing to know. And he starts walking away.
Ow,
Okay.
that hurt.
Lock the door.
Don't
Got
make me
it.
laugh. Laughing's painful.
The guards look very like, who is this kid?
Yeah,
All right,
and
you walk in.
If you
go ahead.
ask, he'll tell you.
They're not too concerned about it just yet. Did you want to say something else, Six?
No, he just starts walking through.
Okay. All right. You walk through.
Kind
you
of-
go up about.
Has like a little bit of a skip to a step. Very lighthearted.
You're going into the temple, right?
Yep.
I'll be right there by your side.
Six is looking for every opportunity to take anything that's not bolted down.
Fix has never taken anything.
Sorry, Forsyth.
Okay, I was gonna say Fix has not and not done
When
anything.
did Fix become a thief?
Well,
Never.
I was
I
trying.
mean, yeah.
We did
I'm
love
I
it.
was
looking.
going back to all those notes, going, did he take something that I don't remember? He took books,
In this
but yeah.
environment,
In this environment.
in this environment, I'm going to be looking only for the simplest of opportunities.
Simplest of opportunities. All right.
In other words, only when I think I can't be caught.
No. Well, as of right now, you're walking up about 5 steps or so into a foyer. You see, and it's a fairly large foyer, receiving room, greeting room. It can be used as a meeting room. It is very open. It has beautifully carved marble floors, high silvery walls. You walked through an archway. There doesn't appear to even be a door there. And on the other side of this greeting room, you see 3 sets of arches, and you see the tall woman that you just saw giving a speech walking out of the middle one just as you reached about the top stair. This woman, let me see if this is visible, does have, behind her silvery hair, she does have like what looks like a disc on her forehead. A small.
She is Jaffa.
She's Jaffa.
The dude with the weird snake staff that hypnotized Aladdin?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Or was that Janir?
Oh, that's,
Jellicore.
Jafar?
yeah,
I was thinking
at-
servants of Ra.
gotcha.
Servants of Ra.
No, he was Jin between.
In between.
Would head towards her. Oh, that sounds like battle music.
I don't know, it sounded like the beginning of the postal workers song that I had. Anyway, so she has a disc on her forehead. She walks up and she sees you coming up the stairs and walks a few steps in and she says, "Welcome."
My weapon is not out.
Good. I assumed your guys' weapons were not out.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't assume.
Yeah.
Do any of you have a weapon open?
No. And my
I
shield
have
is on my back.
Not anything noticeable.
I
Yeah,
am
your
the weapon.
construct
I
is
look
following you.
dumb.
So, she does say welcome. She will take a moment and notice your construct. And say, how can I enlighten you today?
Oh, we're here seeking enlightenment. I don't know. But I wanted to know about the spirits that you, what was the word they use, are an intermediary for.
Yes.
Does that make
the
you like a
water
cleric?
spirit. Yes.
Oh, okay. So why don't you just say cleric?
Because
Like he's a cleric. He
I
points
wave.
to Seeker. I'm a cleric.
Wouldn't you
I love
like to
you.
be a cleric too, sir?
Why do we have to use these weird names that just are just wispy and wordy?
Pretentious.
The pretension is real.
Because as clerics of old, I do not possess the same kind of power.
So these water spirits, are they an extension of, and he'll go through the list again, Poseidon, Neptune, like going through all the god, like very meticulously.
And she will, no. None of those gods.
Who is it that you do serve? Do they have a name?
They are the water spirits.
Is there more than one of them?
Yes.
Ah, I see.
Do they cover different domains of the water?
Some provide healing. Some provide prophecy.
Are they?
Oh, go ahead.
Are they something like a water dryad? And if she doesn't seem to understand what that means, I'll describe one to her.
I'll have to look that up, but maybe.
Excuse me while I pull out the monster manual.
Let me pull out the monster manual. Wait,
The
is the water
old
dryad
monster
in the
manual.
manual?
The
There's
manual
the
of
book. We've been
monstrosities.
looking for that book our whole lives.
Thou shalt count to 2 or 3. Thou shalt count to 3. Thou shalt not stop at 2. Thou shalt not go too far. Nope,
I guess there
I've
isn't
gone
a
too
specific
far.
water dryad anymore, is there?
Yeah, I think they're all just dryads now.
Well, regular dryads have to
Which
do
for
with
some reason
trees.
I can't find dryads. Well, you can make their base water. Nope, I am going the right way. Hey! Ha! Aha! Aha! Aha!
Oh,
Aha! Um, she will say they are much smaller than what you described.
Are they like
Dryads in
pixies?
general are medium. Yes.
So they're water pixies. Gotcha.
Interesting.
Sure. If that is how you wish to describe them.
So what is this entity that is coming?
Stop.
I'm sorry, I'm just asking you questions. The guard said I could come in and ask you questions.
I can't get my dog to leave me alone. He's pushing her down off my
She's
lap.
like, Fix, stop, just stop.
Go away.
Have questions?
Down.
No more.
No.
God, make a bed and put it at your feet underneath your desk.
Wait a
As she
minute.
pulls her blanket underneath my feet and she lays on it, no, she actually wants attention for something, and
If
I'm
they're fey,
refusing to give it to her.
if they truly are fey, I can speak to them.
What did you ask, Fix? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was highly distracted.
What are these? What is this entity that is coming?
She will kind of look at you and I do not know. They have not revealed that to me.
What have they revealed to you?
Just that there will be an entity.
Hey, do these water sprite pixie things look like what's inside those construct things, those glass biodomes?
No.
Interesting question.
No, but what was in those little humanoid figures definitely looked more like insects.
Well, since I've never seen a water
Yeah.
sprite, I would ask her and give a description.
She will say no. No, the water spirits come from the water. They're tiny. They have wings or fins. Perhaps they serve a dual purpose. They do fly, but they also swim. They are not seen often.
Are they here now?
You kind of look around. No.
Can you arrange a meeting?
They will show themselves to whomever they choose to show themselves to.
Can you
I'm
request a meeting?
I'm gonna kind of look around up in the air.
Forsyth's going, me.
I'm actually gonna.
Question.
I'm actually going to say in Sylvan, if you're there, can I talk to you?
What's your question, Forsyth? You don't get a response as of right now.
Okay.
What can you tell me about a energy source that might be located very near to here, but underground?
I know nothing about it. Perhaps that is the entity?
It could be. There are rumors, I'll put it that way, that there's an energy source guarded near here, and it's guarded by the creatures you saw that were unmoving at that time, but are now moving.
They are now moving.
Yeah, I saw them move. But from what I could tell, they went underground to guard an energy source. So do you
Perhaps
know
that is
anything
connected.
about them?
I do not.
Have there been any strange happenings near here?
None that I have been made aware of.
Okay. Well, if you hear of anything, I'd ask that you please let me know, or one of my companions here, because something is unusual.
Seeker's going to turn his back to everybody like he's looking around, but he's casting Detect Magic very, very discreetly.
Okay. All right. About the time Seeker turns around, Kadeth, well, everybody else will hear kind of tinkling sounds, like very light bells, almost. Kadeth, you're going to hear, and if anybody else knows Sylvan, you're probably going to hear this too, but Kadeth, you're going to hear, ooh, he knows our language. Will he join us? Please join us. We'll have fun. You hear several, like, little, light, wispy voices.
Mischievous,
soft,
evil.
soft. And, you know, you
Didn't
hear him
hear a
say,
word
he
they
even
said.
swim. He's so big. He doesn't have fins. You know, like,
I'm gonna
he's awful big for a pixie.
try to look towards the direction where one of the voices is coming from, and say, still in Sylvan, would it be okay if one of you show yourself so that my companions know that I'm actually talking to something?
It's the weirdest thing, seeing a giant speak Sylvan. I don't know.
You're a giant?
Oh,
Well, he's half
I have giant
kind
blood. I mean,
Oh,
he's
I
a
Goliath.
am a
runt.
That's right.
Goliath.
Okay.
He's a runt half giant.
I'm a very small half giant. I'm like 6'11".
He's
Are
like
you related
Hagrid.
to Grog?
Grog.
No, Grog was taller.
Oh, okay.
I
I thought he was
don't
a
know.
runt
Like,
too.
He's
he
still
was a
taller.
runt, but he might have been taller.
Because I'm considered, like, based on technicality, I'm an inch shorter than what the lowest height for a Goliath is. I'm not much of a runt.
You get done with your Detect Magic, Seeker.
hmm
You see, at this point, now that you've turned around, you can see the backsides of the waterfalls that she was standing between earlier. You can see the backsides of the waterfalls. And there are little spots, almost like little lightning bugs, almost, scattered throughout the
suspected.
waterfalls
Okay.
and whatnot. You definitely sense magic behind you. As you turn around, Jellicor, the thing on her forehead is lighting up like a beacon. What else is lighting up? She has some armor on underneath her robes that is lighting up.
Just taking
And other
mental
than-
inventory.
Yeah. Other than that, she herself has a slight glow to her.
I don't say
And of
anything.
course,
I just
yeah. And then, of course,
all the
everything else
sprites.
that you expect from your party, of course.
Right.
After a little bit, you've turned around, you've kind of looked back at her. Kadeth, you're kind of looking around. You will see a small blue light, like just fly through the air. All of a sudden, all of you will see this. It's a small blue light that just seems to dart through the air. Almost so fast you can't really make out any shape. It's just a flying light at the moment. But after a little bit, you will see it kind of land on Jellicor's shoulder.
The blue light, that's special.
I'll take
blue light.
advantage of this distraction. That was great. And
I'll-
cast see invisibility.
Oh, is that your little friend?
I'll say I'm going to ask the sprite. So, do you also speak the common language of men?
Yes, she responds in common.
Do we all hear that then?
Mm-hmm. You will hear yes come out of her mouth. Not often.
I understand. I don't often get the opportunity to speak your language, as beautiful as it is, but it does make it easier for my companions to understand what is going on. And I'll look at her, give a slight bow, and say, "My name is Kadath. These are my friends, and I think my friend Fix here may have a lot of questions for you. So, if you're willing to answer them."
Seeker, with your invisibility, see invisibility, you are going to see two people in the room with you,
Okay.
both in the far corners, like on either side of Jellicor, just
Okay.
kind of standing very resolute, very guard, being super still, just watching.
Right. Any ethereal stuff?
You will see a few in about the shape of that pixie, kind of sitting almost on the ceiling on a couple of the arches and stuff.
Okay.
Up high. Only about 3 or 4.
All right.
Oh, I get to ask quite a few questions.
Well,
He looks at
try to
Kadath.
No.
He
try
looks
to
at
keep it
Kadath.
reasonable.
Unlimited questions. Oh,
Try to keep it within reason. We don't want to take up their entire day.
Seeker goes
Okay.
no.
Okay. So
just no.
5. Seems likely.
That's a thing in the movie. It's going to make you crack up.
Fix looks at the thing and does like a, I don't know if I'm supposed to bow or what type movement. Like it's not quite a bow. It's like I don't know what the proper etiquette here is.
Curtsy.
It's that awkward curtsy.
Yeah.
So what's the entity that you said is going to be coming?
The entity is otherworldly.
Like the coins.
Yes, like the coins.
What world is it from? If not this one, what other world is it from?
I am
Hope it's not warlocky otherworldly. That could be bad.
sure.
The entity, is it good or bad?
Could be either. So far, good.
So it's here.
Yes, it arrived a week ago.
Oh, so it's in that underwater underground thingy that Forsyth went to, that the glass bug thing is guarding.
Maybe.
What does it look like?
Do not know.
Tentacles, lots of tentacles. No, I'm just kidding.
Lots of release the kraken.
What has it done now? Is it just sitting there?
Ooh. When it first arrived, strong energy. Dangerous to be in water. No, it's not so much.
Dangerous how? Like deadly or electricity, poison, disease, what?
Like energy from the sky, lightning.
Lightning. But it dissipated over time.
Yes. Cannot get close. Well, could not get close. Now it just kind of tingles. And she giggles a little bit.
When it arrived, did it arrive with a splash or did it just appear?
I guess it just disappeared. Just appeared.
Does
Oh,
it have a name?
Not that I know.
have you communicated with it?
No.
Do you have a way to take us to the energy?
Can you swim?
I can swim. I cannot hold my breath for a long time.
Maybe?
Sucks for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
It'd
Okay.
be funny if it said that.
Darn.
Fix knew pixies, right? So, and she said they were like pixies. So she said you're like pixies. Does that mean that you can turn us into other animals like pixies can do?
Yes. That's why I said maybe.
Oh. Looks to the others. Are we going swimming?
I don't know if you can trust a pixie, but sure. Aren't they chaotic by nature and love to pull pranks on those that are not them?
They can be,
Well, yeah.
but not always.
They are not as bad as our cousins,
The dryads?
the sprites.
No.
Oh, the sprites, they're the worst.
Yes, I've run into sprites.
You've run into them because they're so tall. They can't fly high enough.
I'm not that tall.
Vix looks up at you. I don't think that you'd say that if you were down here.
It's a matter
And
of
we-
perspective.
One day, when we get a chance for you to meet some of my family, extended family, you'll see that I'm not that tall.
Well, you're tall. And he turns back to the pixie or the sprite. So yeah, I want to go see it.
I am certainly interested.
I am too.
Absolutely.
Evangeline goes by default.
Wait, I thought we were going by water.
Evangeline's just taking it all in.
You wish to go tonight or in the morning?
Tonight, now, if you would.
do that.
Are you
Sure we
afraid of
want
it
to
at
pull
night?
an all-nighter?
No,
Say, how late is it right now?
it is
Sun's already
after
set.
sunset. The sun has set. I would say it's 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Seeker said what he said. His name is Seeker. Let's go now. That's what he votes. If he gets overruled, fine, but he votes to go now.
I
How
think
long has it
Forsyth's
been
going to
since
bonk him
we?
on the head.
How long has it been since we arrived?
Since you arrived here,
Mm-hmm. Like got off the boat and started looking for stuff.
okay, probably about 3.5 hours.
Well, I have no concerns so long as we can get there and figure things out within 4 hours. Then I really have to sleep.
We can go. It's up to you how long you spend there,
Then let's go.
maybe.
Oh.
Okay. She will turn around and you hear in Sylvan, Cadet, you hear her going, let's take them, let's go, blah, 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 blah. You know, they're like constantly going back
Right.
and forth. You know how it goes. And like sometimes it starts to just be a cacophony of noise.
And Fix will
And
wave to the priestess as they depart.
Does she seem to have any reaction to us doing this?
I was
No,
just about
actually,
to
she
ask
seems-
that.
she seems to be super calm.
Probably the
But
fact
she
that
kind of has
they were willing to talk to us may helped a lot.
a far off look a little bit, like she's in her mind, kind of like she's in her mind palace.
Does she seem to
far
be
away.
like? Does
Yeah,
she?
far,
Does
far
it seem
away.
like she would be interested in finding out what we know, or like just getting a feel for like how she's going to react when we go off with the pixies and
No, she seems
somewhere
perfectly
I'm
content.
assuming she hasn't been before.
She seems perfectly content to stay where she's at.
Okay.
I wave to the two invisible guys as we leave.
Okay. The pixies will take you to a lower portion of the temple. They won't fly outside, but they'll take you to a lower portion of the temple where the waterfalls are hitting and it's creating some pools. And they will stop and they will say, "Come, come."
I have a
We'll
bad
follow.
feeling about this.
Yep.
So do I, but no time like
I'll
the
follow.
present.
Underwater isn't my favorite thing, but
The metal thing we cannot change.
Did we get a long rest in?
The metal thing.
Your companion, Evangeline.
That's okay. He doesn't breathe.
Okay.
Hey, Jody,
Yeah.
were we able to get even a short rest in since the last time I wild shaped?
we've really just been talking, so
Yeah.
I could call it a short rest.
Okay.
that way you can get some wild shape back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right.
I'll
As you
do-
get into the pool,
For all the work I've been doing, I probably got in a long rest.
5 pixies will cast polymorph. 1 for each of you.
I don't need it.
Let them
But
do
I'll
it. That
take
way you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Then you still got both of your wild
What are we
shapes.
polymorphed into?
You are polymorphed into
Minnows.
A
trout.
goldfish! And we
Trout.
jump off of the cliff.
Trout?
Yeah. In the pool. You're trout in the pool. And you see the pixies all dive in.
Something
And,
fishy about that.
And you will hear them. Follow, follow. in the water, and they will begin to swim down the stream toward the direction of which Forsyth disappeared down into the stream or into the river.
I recognize the
Start
terrain.
swimming that way.
So you are all trout. You swim.
Do my best version of a trout shrug.
The fins. And it takes you about 20 minutes to swim that way. And you get to where the illusion is, and you see all 5 pixies swim through a wall, basically. Forsyth, you expected it to come.
Right.
Forsyth does not hesitate.
Follow me,
Old
guys.
Well,
Ix doesn't hesitate, but he kind of squints his eyes and braces for impact.
Yeah.
Fish out of water.
So you all kind of go through the wall. It feels really weird because you kind of are expecting an impact, but you go on through, and you're still swimming for a little while. That's a good 20 minutes or so. And after those 20 minutes, the pixies just keep going, and then they just flip to flying. But as you start to leave the water, you should because you are fish. Fish don't fly. But as you guys begin to leave the water, all of the pixies will drop their polymorph, and you're back on your feet, or maybe on your butts, depending on how you wanted to flop out of there as a fish.
Handstand.
I'll-
Fitting. He's like, okay.
I'll look at him and say, well, that was an interesting experience.
It is fun to swim.
I might not order the trout dinner for the next couple days. I'm not going
Fish and
vegan.
friends.
He looks at
Not
this.
food.
He looks at this break. Not going vegan, but
they will fly up to the door, and they will stop. The door does not open.
Fix will follow. See if it opens for him.
It does not open for you.
I cast knock. No, I'm just kidding.
Forsyth, you said it opened for you.
You hear hello.
Yeah.
Who's there?
I'll walk up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cast knock knock. Who's there?
I will walk up to the door and just keep walking.
All right, it opens for you.
I'll follow.
Try to follow.
behind him.
Yeah, we'll try to follow.
Try being the operative word.
As you walk in, now that you are all in there, I will give you, oops, not in this book. I will give you a general picture, because it's in this book. A general
not
picture of
appearing in
what
this
you
book?
see.
Oh.
So not nearly, yes, they're not appearing in this book. Not nearly as bright or as active. It's definitely dulled, and you see the sparkling orb, or the orb that's kind of shooting out lightning, but it's very sporadic. There's not very much of it. It's definitely a duller form than what you're going to see, but that's about what you see.
Good Lord.
Yeah, well, I guess I could tilt it this way, so it's like
That looks
actually,
friendly.
yeah.
Check out
Yeah.
the metal. Like I said,
And it's really big.
It is really big.
Did
The orb, like I said, is
sprites
not
end
as
up
bright.
following us?
Yeah, the sprites follow you through.
Okay. So, you said your people do not know what this is?
No.
Evangeline's going to be all about checking this out.
Have you been able, you haven't been able to talk to it yet?
Hmm. No?
Looking at it, like, is there any symbols around it or anything like that?
All right.
Any writing, anything? I'm gonna get a little bit closer, but
And I can still see invisible right now.
being
It's
cautious.
for an hour.
Okay. All right. And you can see into the ethereal.
Hmm.
You will see in the ethereal, you will see an occasional figure. Not always the same figure. Sometimes you see the same figure, but not always. Moving about this place as if this is home, like you would expect a villager to move about this place.
Hmm.
And it's really weird. They're going through motions. You can't really see emotion. You can't really see that there is like consciousness
Hmm.
there. They almost seem like shadows of the past per se,
Okay.
but they're all in the ethereal. You see them all kind of in the ethereal plane. Cadets, you start looking at symbols and such. They look like you don't really recognize them. There might be a couple things you might recognize here or there, just like letters, maybe words. Words like, entrance, exit, like kind of common words in various places. But they look
Any particular
very,
language, or is it more of a symbology type?
it's more of a symbology. But it's slightly different. They look like cleaner, crisper lines, harsh edges, not very fluid. Those are kind of the symbols that you're seeing all around.
Does it seem like it might be older writing, like from a lost age or something, a previous age?
Quite possibly. Roll me history. Evangeline, go ahead and roll me investigation.
24 for history.
Okay. And you're checking this out. I guess I said investigation. Are you checking this out from just an artificer like machine works, or are you checking this out for like Numenera specifically? Because if it's Numenera specifically, do Arcana.
Like to say, probably both. And they're both. My investigation and my Arcana are the same.
Oh, okay.
21.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right.
Since Fix has been studying that book of symbols, would he recognize any of them?
That's a good question. Roll me. Are you good with history? You can roll me history or investigation, whichever one might be better for you.
Okay.
Since you've been studying the book.
They're both +1, so it doesn't matter. 17.
Okay. Looking at some of the symbols, some of them do look familiar. You kind of get the same feeling as Cadeth first did. Like some of these seem familiar, but they're definitely altered, whether it be from a previous age or something untoward. It's just another language, perhaps, or something of that nature. You can't quite make out, but it's definitely altered in some manner from the symbols that you have read about. Cadeth, with yours, you start to kind of really look into it and kind of focus in a little bit. You begin to make out some of the symbology of the third age, the third world.
Which was just after the sword was made,
Yes.
if I remember right.
Evangeline.
I think when typing up the notes, not an exact determination, but somewhere late second or third world.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Evangeline, looking at this from a Numenera standpoint, the whole thing puts you in awe. Like, this feels very like one big gigantic sphere with something in the center of it. You almost feel like you're inside a Numenera device. Like, that's kind of the feeling you get. It's not just like one thing, it's like this whole thing.
We're in Numenera Nirvana.
You are in Numenera Nirvana. Yeah, that's kind of the feeling you're getting. And as far as machine works go, you're kind of seeing, as an average person probably would put together, this orb in the center probably powers this whole thing. And it definitely does not look to its full strength. Definitely looks dimmed, and it just is not strong. But you know, as a power source for such a Numenera device, would be dangerous for actual biological beings. You guys are not even biomechanical. You are biological
Right.
beings. Could be dangerous next to it because it is a powerful energy source.
Hmm.
You pick up on that.
So I kind of want to, like anything that I can pick out, either words, phrases, ideas, concepts, whatever. I'm going to start pointing them out to Fix and have him, because I know he likes to sketch things down.
Yeah, he would bring out his quill and pad and start jotting down the symbols as well.
And then I'm gonna see if I can start filling in the blanks, like filling in, getting an idea of what the things that I don't recognize might mean.
Okay. All right. You're gonna start kind of taking rubbings, things like that. One of the pixies kind of follows you around a little bit. The other four pixies instantly, like, after you guys stop and kind of take it in, you see them kind of fly off over the edge and down into the sphere, like they're flying straight down to the bottom. You came in about midpoint. You're at
Okay.
its widest point, in essence.
And they're just going right down in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just flew right over the edge and straight down.
I'm going to step to the edge and look over.
Okay. Looking over, it gets darker the further down it gets, obviously, because this is the only light source in the sphere is that dull orb. But as you look over and you look down, you still got a good distance for your vision. You see just several levels of what looks like a city. And even the level directly below you, you see more of those like shadowy, ethereal figures just milling about.
Evangeline,
Yes,
come, look at this.
I will walk over and look.
It's an entire
Uh,
city.
Yeah, you look down and you see levels of city. Just
Its inhabitants are ethereal. I can see them flitting about.
Can I roll a history check to see if I've ever studied anything about this?
sure.
This
And hearing
sort of.
him say
I
something
didn't
about a
say that quietly.
city.
Yeah, I didn't say that quietly because he's in awe.
Do I know of any ancient cities that were
23.
around here at one point?
You do not recall any ancient cities from around here.
Okay.
You're 23. You vaguely recall, not from around here anyway, Cadet, you would remember that there.
Bless you.
Excuse me. You would recall, Cadet, that in the third world, as you were reading about the gods and whatnot, you will recall that in the third world, there were many people fearing the gods would gather together in very condensed cities. You don't recall reading about them being encased in a sphere or anything, but that like millions of people would condense into one city, almost like how Key is condensed. There's millions of people that live in Key. You know, that's you do recall in the third age that several people flocked to cities to live and be protected by one another during the gods deciding to wreck everything.
As one would
Evangeline,
do.
yeah.
Happily do.
Evangeline, you do recall reading in one of the books that was in the Order of Truth that they talked about spheres of protection. That there was this grand idea. There's never been proof, but through various studies and just a little bit of information here, a little bit of information there, they kind of pieced together that there was these spheres of protection that could be large enough to protect a household. You never read of anything at this scale, that's
City
for sure.
size.
But this does kind of give a little bit of the semblance of the same thing. Only this is an entire city.
Well, I definitely will share that with Seeker because we're standing right there. And I will say it to where if anybody that's standing in earshot, I will relay that information.
So why do you think all the inhabitants are ethereal and not physical?
Have any idea other than the fact that they may be dead?
You have
That's what
no
I was
idea.
No
other than
idea.
the fact that maybe
So do you want to
But
go
dead
out?
passes on.
Do you
Dead
want to go
passes
down
on.
and check?
Ethereal doesn't. I do. Seeker does for sure.
Well,
Uh,
it is
Hence the
very,
name.
it is
we
a
can go
very,
down there.
very powerful relic. Is it possible that it phase shifted the inhabitants to the ethereal plane and couldn't
That's good
fully
thought.
phase plane shift back, or
I
didn't
will
have
look
enough
at
power?
Absolutely
Vic
possible.
and I will look at him and go, given what we're looking at, I think anything might be possible.
Agreed.
Definitely.
So who wants a ride down?
A ride. What do you
Well, I
mean?
can carry one down there.
Oh, with one of your forms.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get started right away, so I'll volunteer first.
Okay. I
I'm
am
probably
going to,
still
I do
interpreting.
have levitate ready. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that spell.
I will hold a feather just in case.
How far
I'm
down
going
is
to
it?
shake.
Yeah, how far down?
Beyond your vision, beyond where the light can shed.
I suggest using a rope and holding on tight. And
Certainly.
I wild shape into a giant lizard.
I get a
Nice.
rope out of my backpack. I've got silk and hemp. I'll try silk because it's stronger, and I will use that.
All
If
right.
he's on my back, I'm going to just start going down.
All right. You're going to start climbing the walls and everything. Work your way
Pretty
down.
good climbing speed.
All right.
Once he
You
drops
see-
me off, I'm going to ritually cast Leoman's tiny hut because I know we're due for a rest.
Yes.
I
yes.
have 2 hours I can shape there. I can drop him off and come pick the rest up.
I figured
Yeah,
that's
you
what you'd do.
You could do some shifting. But you also know that there are stairs and stuff here that will allow you to get into the lower levels. Just not as fast as the
Right.
the lizard.
I'll probably
so
go
I know there are
last.
stairs and such. As soon as Seeker and Forsyth started heading down, Fix would go kind of skip down the stairs.
All right.
Assuming we're
Um,
done with the writing things down, I'll
Correct.
go with Fix.
All right. You begin to make your way deeper into the sphere as the sides start to curve in a little bit. You make your way down. Fix. You will start to feel as you're looking at some of the symbols, realizing that some of these symbols are from the Third Age. Some of the dates and stuff that you're seeing on at various locations and whatnot. This, you feel it because you're just so in tune and so keenly aware of time. You are out of time and place.
How would that feel?
It
I'm
feels
guessing that Fix would be kind of horrified by that.
Oh yeah.
a little scared, a little nauseous.
A little off-putting.
Then he'd
Little
kind of stop.
off-putting.
He would stop. One hand would kind of be on his knee, the other one would reach up to brace against Kadeth, and he's just like, he looks kind of a little bit green. Like,
Are you okay, Fix?
you don't feel that?
Do I feel somewhat like he is?
Oddly enough, not as much. I mean, yeah, it's weird. Yes, it's definitely not enough room below the surface of the land to fit this thing because this thing is huge. So you know something's happened, but you don't exactly feel physical reaction to it.
I'll just look at Fix and say, well, I know something's off, but you seem to be... It seems to be affecting you worse than me. Maybe let's just take it slow.
We're not in the right time. Time's not right. It's no. He'll pull out his pocket watch and look at it.
It's spinning.
Spinning backwards. The minute hand's going this way, the hour hand's going this way.
Based on the language up top, I can only assume there's some sort of temporal anomaly, if you will.
But
I
time.
don't know if that's the right word for it.
It's almost
you
as
look-
disgusting as one of those chronomancers. Ugh.
Taking a moment to look at your watch, you wait. You begin to think that it's not working, and then all of a sudden the second hand goes click.
Time slowed.
Does it take just as long for it to click again?
Uh-huh.
You remember I said I thought I was down there a lot longer than you thought I was down there.
Well,
I take
this
a couple steps
could
down
make things interesting.
and see if it changes the interval in which this, like maybe like 20 feet down the stairs,
And-
see if the interval of the second hand changes.
I'm actually going to stay
seems
back
to
where
stay
we
the
were.
same.
I'm going to stay back where we were and see if it looks like if there's any perception of him possibly moving slower than he actually is.
Nope.
Maybe it's just within the sphere.
Could be. Well, I mean, at the moment, I don't know that we're necessarily in any danger from this odd effect. But
If
definitely keep your wits about you.
if I vomit on you, that is dangerous. I'm
You
sorry.
can point your head away. Come on. I'm just kidding.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
It's astounding.
It's
Good
astounding.
night, everybody. I gotta
with-
go.
Yeah,
Time
with all of that,
is fleeting.
yes, time is fleeting. With all of that, you guys are headed down deeper into
Madness
the
is
fear, and
taking control.
that is where we're going to stop for tonight.
Good night,
Aware
everyone.
that things are good night.
Night, Rob.
Things are
Rob.
not quite what they appear to be, and it is eerily quiet. So, all right, so that's where we're going to stop for tonight,
Except for Fix's retching.
except that Fix is stretching. Fix is not feeling good.
You need to stand up and dance.
Time is not fixed.
Nope. So
Let's
Thank
do the
you.
time warp again.
yes, Fix says no.
Yeah.
We're playing D&D, not Star Trek. It's not supposed to be temporal anomalies.
Temporal anomaly going on here.
All right.
So with that,
They're not. In D&D, they're called planar rifts.
good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Good night.